Richard Hudson, who represents the 8th District, has been nice enough to stop by our studios today to answer a few questions. So thank you very much for being with us.
Great to be with you.
There's a big event happening Friday that we'll get to in just a moment, but first I'd like to ask you a couple of current event questions.
Sure.
As far as what is happening with our country and overseas and ISIS, the President has recently discussed Tuesday the strikes that started Monday in Syria. Please give us your reaction to how you think that our country is handling the crisis.
Sure. Well, I serve as chairman of the Homeland Security Transportation Security Committee, and so every week I'm in Washington, I get a top secret briefing on the threats that are out there, and I can tell you ISIS is a real threat, and I take them at their word when they say they want to kill Americans. I take them at their word when they say they want to attack our homeland. And so if to do nothing and allow them to set up a state in Iraq and Syria is unacceptable. And so I'm glad the President is taking this seriously. Frankly, I'm afraid he came to the game a little too late in getting serious about ISIS. I think we should have addressed this when they first entered Iraq. And frankly, I'm not sure we've got a strategy yet that will effectively defeat ISIS. I think these airstrikes are good tactics, but I'm not sure what the overall strategy is. And you know, you talk to the Joint Chiefs of Staff, you hear them talk about what can be done there, and I don't see how airstrikes in and of themselves are sufficient enough to defeat ISIS.
You actually wrote some legislation and helped get it passed just recently with the airlines and fees, and tell us a little bit about that and what good news people can expect.
Sure. Well, the federal government collects a fee every time you fly on a commercial airline. Part of that money goes to offset the cost of TSA and our airline security. Part of that goes to deficit reduction. But TSA has been collecting more than they're allowed to collect under the law. If you take a round-trip flight, you get dinged twice with a fee, but TSA was hitting you on every segment. So in some cases, you were getting 4 or 5 times. And so I wrote a bill to clarify the law so that TSA stops confiscating that extra money from our flying public. It should save the American people somewhere between $60 and $70 million.
Another excellent topic that is happening Friday morning, it starts at 8 o'clock, is a women's symposium. So tell me how that's going to go. What are some of the guest speakers on the roster, and what are some events that can happen Friday morning for women who want to head out to the Speedway?
Well, we're really excited about our first women's symposium, and our keynote speaker is North Carolina Commerce Secretary Sharon Decker, who's a remarkable leader in our state and someone I admire very much. And so we'll be hearing remarks from her. And then we're going to offer breakout sessions on different topics. We've got someone from the Small Business Administration who's going to talk about how to access federal grants, how to access capital for a business person, how to deal with cybersecurity issues. We have another session led by a healthcare executive, and she's going to be talking about how to navigate the healthcare laws and what it means for our families and how we can navigate that complex new law. And then there's also a breakout session from our district attorney in Cabarrus County, Roxanne Vanikoven, focusing on security, both personal security, security for your family, cyber security for your home, a lot of really important topics.
Representative Hudson, thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate all your information. And if you would like to head out to the event, again, it is at the Charlotte Motor Speedway Friday morning. That is the 26th. It lasts from 8 until noon, and you can show up at the door and have a great time with those breakout sessions and learn a lot of information. Thank you for being here.